it to you. I'll start off by saying this. This is going to be an impactful show. I'll just say this. If you have not gotten comfortable and gotten settled in your spot, you better do it now. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, too, because we need to get them subscribers up. So, listen, you guys seen the flyer earlier, and I told you guys this is what we're doing. We're celebrating 59 years of the Black Panther Party. So joining me on the show today, I have our good friend, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., and also his mother, the Chairman. What is the plans for your name, Miss Akua and Jury? We'd like to welcome to the show today. How you guys doing?
Hey, honored and humbled to be here. One of Chairman Fred Senior's one of his sayings was to proletarian, revolutionary, intoxicated to be astronomically intimidated. In
Yeah.
other words, it's a time for the people. You know what I'm saying? Right. On this particular day, the birthday of the Black Panther Party, we honored and humbled to be here.
Right. So I am just at awe right now because I did not expect for your mom to be joining us. I know when we originally talked, it was gonna be you, but this is just a impactful day. What's it been like for you guys since that tragic day? I mean, you guys have still been pillars of the community. What's the driving force behind that? Despite what took place?
You want
Well, I used to say this, the spirit of Chairman Fred and all of those that were assassinated or have left this space demand that I continue this work. And I don't want the ghost of Chairman Fred said, sister, you on the wrong path.
Yeah.
Then after you continue to do the work, it's just a part of you. I can't see myself doing anything else. And it's not just for elevation of me, which my own interest is in it, but it's really, I can't really explain it, a great feeling to continue to serve the people. It's no greater reward to me. It makes me feel good. I'm appreciative of it, and people appreciate you motivating them, from that period to this to do the work in the interest of the people.
I mean, when I first learned about what the Black Panther Party was, it was really about the enrichment programs you guys had in the community. My grandmother used to
Yes.
rant and rave about how you guys would provide meals, you would provide resources. Um, can you speak to that in today's time with the stigma and the trauma that we're dealing with now in the underrepresented communities?
Well, I think that our fight was for freedom, for power to people to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the reality is, we still don't have power in the hands of the people. The people are the most strongest force, the motivating force in everything that happens in the world, whether it's fashion, whether it's food, clothes, anything. The people are the deciding factor. We're not acknowledged. You know what I'm saying? We change what people wear. We change how they talk. We have our own conversation, particularly black people. You know what I'm saying? We got our own conversation. We could talk with a room full of other people and they don't know what we're saying. Because we do codes still, you know? But it's the most rewarding thing. And I can't say that enough to do that. And I don't see myself doing anything else. But it's frustrating too, because a lot of times I get subjective, and I think because I show you ABCD, seems like you should catch on to it, and
Yes,
you
ma'am.
should catch the history, a history of oppression. We've never been free in this country,
Yes, ma'am. You're
in
absolutely
this world,
right.
really. Right.
What if Fred was still here now?
Chairman
What
Fred.
I'm sorry, excuse me. If Chairman Fred was still here now, what would be his message, being that there's so many things taking place in Chicago now with the raids and ICE and police in the city? what do you think his message would be today if he was still here?
I think his message would be, we still ain't tasted this thing they call freedom, but we know that we're not supposed to be living under these conditions. Although it's nobody that you know or I know that could say, oh, I could tell you exactly what freedom is. You know what I'm saying? We can't. We have the aspiration to know that we're not supposed to live under these conditions. And when black people as a whole are not free, I ain't free. I don't care if I make $1 million tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
not self-aggrandizement of myself, but our people to have control over their own black lives, their own community, self-determination. The people decide what they want to do.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. Yes, ma'am. Chairman Fred Jr., I'm just curious to know your thoughts about how the youth can move forward with today's climate. I mean, we talked weeks ago about what to do if it happened. Fast forward now, you posted something that stood out to me the most. You said, if we stay ready, we ain't got to get ready. How do we move forward in today's society?
First and foremost, let me just say, revolutionary appreciations having us on. I'm just being here without person I refer to as my A1 from day one, mother comrade of Cool and Jerry. And on this day, I'm let the record reflect. We are on October 15th, 2025, the 59th year, the birthday of the Black Panther Party. As a representative of the Black Panther Party Cubs, I want to say to all those who we attempt to not walk in their footsteps, but they Panther Paul steps. They look good for 59 years old. They look good,
Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying? They've been through a lot of
Right
scars and
on.
right on.
Yes,
They
sir.
look, they, the Mumia Abu Jamals, the countless of others who are held captive, you know what I'm saying? And those who are not even physically still here, their legacy lives on. So they've been through a lot of scars and bars, blood, sweat, and tears. They look good 59 years. Far as I want to be on the preface with this. Really, sometimes we hear terms like the youth, and sometimes people get caught up in this tunnel vision or this stagnant assessment of it. Like the deal is what Lenin has said, a Russian theoretician Lenin said, what takes people 20 years to learn in ordinary times, they can learn in 2 years in revolutionary times. I think it's important that we embrace, we welcome these contradictions to be heightened. These countries that many people think that this new, but they're not. You know what I'm saying? It's like capitalism can be correlated to the coronavirus. It may go dormant at certain periods of time, but that you know what I'm saying terms such as occupying army, you know what I'm saying many people are just using that term. But you go back, Minister UEP they drew that correlation years back. You know what I'm saying referencing U.S. troops in Vietnam and Philippines and Africa and other places occupying army and Oakland, Detroit, Chicago, and the likes. So, uh, one, to try to struggle with the subjectivity, 'cause a lot of times a generation thinks that this is the first time that something occurred. And that's an intentional tactic. I think under the tenure of George Bush Sr., they say at one point, I think 73 or 76% of the population was under 17 years old. So you really had a populace of potential reactionaries, people who thought this is the first time this is occurring. It's imperative that, we had these conversations, again, let people know this, I mean, the Nixon era, and prior to that, history of colonialism, and not just, also balance it up with the history of resistance. You know what I'm saying? And of course, not in a stagnant way, take into account, of course, there are different dynamics, like, new forms of chemical, biological warfare, whether it be fentanyl, the tear gas, the political connotation has to be tied to that. So you look at the history of it. So you can look at Agent Orange, how it was utilized in Vietnam, so on and so forth. So people say, "Whoa, this ain't the first rodeo. We can buck this bull." You know what I'm saying? Or better yet, this pig. So that's so to get that in historical context, and also the Black Panther Party, we look at such examples as turning the communities into classrooms. You follow what I'm saying? And not just engaging a whole bunch of what Chairman Fred called intellectual masturbation. They're doing a whole bunch of words and terms, but literally turning communities into classrooms and recognize
You
that
know,
just because literally when I just went to DC yesterday
yeah.
for the event in honor of George Floyd's birthday. And literally, as soon as I left, there were situations where that were I got word that the government was deploying agent provocateurs. There were groups claiming to represent the Black Panther Party, so on and so forth. And people are they even saying now they are deploying agent provocateurs and putting in chemical agents. So people have to look at this political sense, not just some trivial elementary assessment like who, so on and so forth, and take into account it's not just the actual formation of people in uniforms and guns, but again, agent provocateurs, all this comes, you know what I'm saying, with colonizing the community.
Yes. Right.
Or further, excuse me, further colonizing the community.
So I'm hearing what you're saying, Chairman, and I'm just trying to add all this together. We're in 2025 and violence is at an all-time high, and it seems like the only time that there's help on the way is when all hell has broken loose in the Black community. How do we get back to the old days when the Black community stood together and demanded change? Not only demanded change, but provided the change. How do we get back to that? Because it seems like we kind of got away from that.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I think you put it lastly better. I think you said that we do the change. Again, there's no great white hope gonna come save us. You know what I'm saying? We are our own liberators. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of times we realize that under certain intense conditions. In fact, people come to grips with that reality through inspiration, aspiration, or desperation. And historically, it's times since this. In fact, I reference our organization. I see people say, well, Chairman, people not hearing really what you're saying. Maybe some of the words you use and so on and so forth. I said, no. We're the last call for alcohol. We're the ones that people can see that they resort to all other options. A reporter asked me, how many members do you have in your organization? I said, well, a lot of times it depends on how many people the police have murdered. You know, so they can relate to me then. Relate to us then. And it's times like this when you have what they refer to, I think, in the football arena, as a blitz, like it's a full course a blitz where where there's no safe arena, there's no let's go let's go on vacation here while the situation is happening all over the world. So whether it be Macron in France, whether Netanyahu in Israel, whatever the case may be, what's going on in the Middle East, Africa, you see it, similar to doing that of the 60s, that climate, Vietnam, Philippines, Africa, a certain conversation. You know what I'm saying? You see the Black Panther Party newspaper was talking about what's happening throughout the world, not just happening on the west side of Chicago. You feel what I'm saying? And those are ingredients for people to come to grips. They talking about even now, I was commenting earlier, notice this is one of the first U.S. presidents, if not, I think the first U.S. president to ever sit in president, to go to a Super Bowl, to NFL Super Bowl. That's intentional. Because like they'll say, because the narrative is to give you like, okay, you're not in the office no more, you're going to relax. Yeah. This is a climate where they're letting you know everything is political, including and in particular a football game. You feel what I'm saying? Yes, so it's a time where people be forced to say, okay, what's your position on this? You're gonna barbecue or you gonna mildew? What it is? Because you know what I'm saying? So it ain't no neutral position. We've seen such a revolutionary climate in the 60s where the devil disciples stood up and said, we're not a black disciples. Heavily impacted the political education we received from Chairman Fred and the Black Panther Party. They started working the free breakfast program with the Vice stores with the free medical center. It was a climate with such forces H.R. Brown, now known as Emmanuel Amin, who, by the way, is a political prisoner right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? Who literally drove down on James Brown and said, man, you better go back in the studio with that garbage you're talking about. James Brown came back out to me, I'm black and I'm proud. Marvin Gaye was able to go against Berry Gordy and Motown Music and say, I'm going to put this song out, what's going on, whether you like it or not. Now, mind you, there have been incidents similar to that have been taken like some years back in response to Hurricane America. A lot of people call Hurricane Katrina. Yeah. We had a conversation with Kanye West 8 hours before he said what he said about George Bush. You know what I'm saying? But however, these were spurts of different movements happening. You know what I'm saying? Right now, the climate now is up in the ante, where you know what I'm saying, the ante's being up, where it has to be a response. Not everyone's, you know what I'm saying, is going to become a revolutionary, but some sort of revolutionary act. You know what I'm saying? So these are necessary dynamics that have to happen. I'm gonna take from the Alcoholics Anonymous. They say the first step in addressing the problem is recognizing that we have a problem. It is in our community, one of the biggest disadvantages we have is a non-acknowledged war. there's a narrative going around now. People say, well, the black community is going to be next. I say, next? Where you been at? This been going down. You know what I'm saying? We got degrees, you know what I'm saying, being snatched up. It's 1996, they did a sweep in Chicago called Operation Headache on GDs, formerly known as the Gangster Disciples, later Growth and Development. There are sections of those individuals people have never seen to this day no more. But under the auspices of a long game, you know what I'm saying? It happens right in court in your face. We can look back at old TV shows of cops. When they was coming in, they were taking pampers of babies, you know, so somebody looking for drugs. But we became immune to that. So when you have a dad that is upfront telling you, no, this is what this is, you know what I'm saying? A war. Just what last week, the U.S. President Trump changed the name from the Department of Defense to the War Department. You can let me, but it's been a war. It's been when the U.S. they have they're like bad luggage. Wherever they go, they don't leave. You know what I'm saying? With the Philippines, Africa, they're not defending nothing. They not. In fact, in Vietnam, if you notice our language, we always say the U.S. aggression against Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? But it's been done in a Machiavellian way. These nice words and terms, but you didn't see it. So now you up to climbing now where the emperor has no clothes on. In fact, he up taking the clothes off. He's telling you this what it is.
Talk that talk, Chairman Fred Jr. I like it, man. In the words of what you said in our last interview, if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
That's right. Let me add too. The violence that you talk about,
Yes,
Chicago had a big reduction in what they call black on black crime. But they sending these troops here to straighten things out for crime. All the violence that we've experienced as black people is not initiated by us. When they used to stop the trains and let them unload guns in the community, which was rampant in the 60s and 70s. And then they bring more police in, more occupying armies in to quiet the violence, you know? Well, if I got guns and they don't have guns, I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? Do what I gotta do because I'm told we're separate camps. We're separate camps for separate people. And they'll divide and conquer and have us, they drop guns in our community. And children used to say back in the olden days when I was coming up, we don't own no drug plants. We don't bring drugs into our community. It's a government that through working through and stealing from other countries, they bring drugs and guns into our communities and and ignite this what they call black on black crime. It's white on black crime. They the gang leaders.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. If I can tag team one more time, one comrade. We don't we want to get a narrative that we take this. I know Chicago's under the spotlight right now.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago is a microcosm.
Yes.
Of what you'll say what has historically happened and what's happening throughout the world.
Yes.
We don't take this personally, we take it politically. You dig?
Yes.
This is a historical tactical one of America's policies. Again, it's policies. It's whether it be Afghanistan, Africa, the Philippines, create chaos, then restore order. This is an official policy. You know what I'm saying? And the deal is to correlate. It's a book called Economic Hitman. To how they go to different countries and they make an offer you can't refuse. You know what I'm saying? Different places. You know. But we have to try to have a historical analysis. A lot of people just don't saying just even talking about Venezuela now or Mexico right now. But you look in context. This contradictions just didn't hop up with the cartel and all the different dynamics. You look at the history, the time of assassination. I repeat, the assassination of such forces of Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez. You look at the knocking off of back to back South American leadership. You know what I'm saying? Coincidentally coming up with cancer back to back. You know what I'm saying? You put the time. So wait a minute. And they say the first thing a criminal psychologist said the first thing you look at when you go to a crime scene is who benefited. You know what I'm saying? So what I know a lot of times it's hard for us to check our emotions to look at this scientific, but we have history. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we gotta look at other communities to make a reference to it because with our community we're deprived of that acknowledged war.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You know, this is one of them ones where I encourage everybody. If you guys miss this interview, make sure you guys hit that replay, like, subscribe, comment, and share. I want to thank Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. for coming on the show today. Also, Miss Akura and Jury as well. Thank you guys both for coming on the show. This is a monumental moment. You guys are celebrating milestones after milestone after milestone. I don't want to hold you guys up because I know there's a lot that has to be done in your area, but Chairman, you already know it's all about the brotherhood here. Anything you need to get out, any information that you feel the general public needs to know, we do have contacts, so you already know, brother. You already know.
I appreciate you, brother. I want to say shout out to Bill. We over here, man, and Bill on the west side of Chicago. West side is historical stomping ground, and to be here, be on the west side, talking about the 59th birthday of the Black Panther is big. But again, we get ready for the big build up for the 60th next October 15th. But before then, December 4th, International Revolutionary Day. Y'all come on out. I know it's gonna be cold in Chicago, but we come with the heat, y'all.
Right.
These are intense times. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it up again. Revolutionary love and appreciation, you brother, for giving us the opportunity. And we are fortunate to have such forces as a and Jerry and so many other members of the Black Panther Party, and those who are not physically here no more with us. You know what I'm saying? To have provided us a legacy. We say legacy is more important than your life, and we say make sure we keep the clarion call of free Mumia Abu Jamal, free Mal Jamal. You know what I'm saying? Lonely legacy with such forces as Solid Shakur and so many others, man.
Right.
Free them all. Power to the people.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for coming on. That's the Culture Check. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, and share. Go hit that replay button.
Respect the Culture Check.
Yes, sir. Respect the coach. It's all about it.
Hey, just for the record, hey, myself and my mother, we were the cultural experts on Judas and the Black Messiah. We had to make sure that culture check, the culture stayed in check.
And y'all better go check that movie out, Judas the Black Messiah, too. It literally gives you an inside look as to what the legacy, what it was about. But I tell you, don't stop there. Actually do your research and know what it means to be a part of the Black Panther Party. Whether you're a part of the Black Panther Cubs, you gotta know exactly what it is. Thank you guys for coming on, okay?
Because this system, they're going to send you counterfeits, hijackers of history, you name it. You got to be able to tell live from them, Rex, man.
Yes, sir. Right on. Thank y'all for coming in. All right, y'all. That was the exclusive interview. I told you guys we was gonna have that on. Hot takes. We got to go to some hot takes real quick. We switched the show. Normally, when we start the show, we start with trending topics and all that. But I wanted to get.
He's not there.
He's not there. Okay, he's at lunch. All right, so Cruz, come on up. Come on up. So we're gonna end the show since he's already done. We're gonna end the show too. But what's your thoughts on this Nicki Minaj thing, man? Like, do you honestly feel like this is one of them ones where?
Hold on a second. We got. Hold on. We got Barnett on the line.
He's here. Oh.
Let's go.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, let's go. Let's go back to Brother John.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. What's up, brother? Hello, we're gonna get you on the screen. Hello, we're gonna get you on the screen.
We got him. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
What's going on?
Fresh from the West Coast. What's up, man?
Doing good. How you doing, fam?
Dog, I think we were all blown away yesterday when we learned of the passing. I think you was the first person I text because I needed confirmation. I wasn't trying to wait on my reliable sources. I said, but I'm gonna call my wonderful, great source. My brother, y'all welcome him to the show. He's a family member at this point. Before we start, you like the merch, right? The Culture Check merch. You see that? So make sure I get your shirt size so we can get you some merch. You part of the show. But what was your initial thought when you seen this yesterday about Deangelo? Because you are close to the family.
I just didn't know. I figured he was canceling shows. I think Maxwell filled in for him a couple months ago. So whenever you see stuff like that, it's either, for some of these artists, it's either depression or health problems a lot of times. So I just knew something like, why wouldn't he want to make money people, D'Angelo, after Prince's death, he would be labeled as the next Prince.
Yeah.
So, but people are dying to see him. Erykah Badu said he doesn't rush his albums. He's such a beast in reference to what he do. So that means he would take 3, 4, 5 years to make an album.
Yeah.
He's only had like 3 or 4 albums. He dropped his first album, Brown Sugar. That he ate off that for a couple years, and then he did the Voodoo album, Method Man, and Redman was on that album.
Yeah.
And then he waited like almost a decade, and then he dropped the last one. I think it was a Black Messiah album.
Yeah.
So he was definitely a true artist, and definitely gonna be missed. I'm definitely making. He has roots in Virginia, so he has Pentecostal roots actually. And I learned yesterday that he got his name from Deangelo. Well, not Deangelo. He came up with the name Deangelo.
Yeah.
Because it means of an angel, something that's angelic.
Yeah,
it's angelic.
Okay, yeah. All right, so yeah, the angelic prefix. How do we connect the dots between neo soul, mental health, and life? Because Deangelo was going through something, which as to what led him to go down certain paths. I mean, we're not going to speak on it, but how do we connect that dot when it comes in not just neo soul, but just artists in general? How do we connect the dot between mental health, life, and that?
I think communication. One of the things that, if you want to use depression, one of the things about depression is that you have to always try your best to be in constant communication with someone. Because people that's depressed like to just stay by themselves, in the house by themselves, become a recluse. Prince stayed in Paisley Park. I don't know if Prince was depressed or not, but he had signs of it. He didn't want to be around people to a certain extent. So I would say that and then the depression can lead to death. Yeah. So it's always good to constant communication with people. Don't just sit in the house all day long. I got some friends, they're going through depression. They stay in the house all day long. Wouldn't matter to them if they didn't come outside other than going to work. So I think communication is one of the things, and then get counseling. 5% of black men in this country get counseling. Yeah. I'm gonna say that again. 5% out of all the black men in this country, only 5 to 7% get counseling. And there's an increase. More black men are committing suicide than black women. Yeah. So there's an increase of suicide.
It's crazy you say that, because I remember when I called you and I had my situation, and I told you that I needed to get another therapist, and you bro, you really inspired me to change my life, literally.
I appreciate that.
How do we help the younger artists? Because there's talented artists like Deangelo that may be going through things now. They may not be at his point to where they've gotten albums out, but how do we get to that point to where we can help the younger generation deal with mental health, drug addiction, and then also managing a career at the same time with life happening?
I think what happened when we were young, Ray Charles was on drugs for years, but he got off. Yeah. He had a strong support base, and people conversated and had communication with him. You find several artists back in the days that was on drugs and got off. So I think nowadays, people are using drugs. Yeah. They're going through a lot of mental challenges, and there's no communication, and there's no support. The old heads would tell us, "Okay, boy, straighten up your back. Tighten up." They would use these different verbiages. My uncle would use these verbiages, these words like "hold it in the road," different quotes. And even though you're like, "What do you mean hold it in the road? What are you talking about?" But hold it in the road means, stay focused on who you are and where you're going. Hold it in the road. He would repeatedly say that for decades. May he rest in peace, Jerome Pendergrass. So I think that when you look at the young people today, one of the key factors, I think they asked Bill Cosby once, what can we do to create better parents? Yeah. And he was at college speaking, and he said something very simple. You know what he said, Ace? He said, put your cell phone down. That's deep. Yeah. Put your cell phone down. That cell phone is very powerful, but it doesn't have the ability to talk back to you to really deal with who you are. See, that cell phone, that computer, that Google gives you information, but it's not returned,
Mm.
which means you give in information, you type in information into the Google, and then you get information back. So if you had side dialogue, if you want to know more about what you just put in, you can't really get that dialogue. And it's not a human. And I think, it's very important that we have that interaction with humans. Very important. That's why counseling is needed for so many people. You're sitting there, you're literally just talking to people
Yeah.
or talking to a counselor or psychologist. So I think it's very key that we put our cell phones down. This modern age world that we live in, people are not concerned about people's feelings.
Yep.
When I was growing up, if your lights was off, 2 or 3 people, neighbors would give you money to get your lights back on. Today, if your lights is off, the neighbor laughs and puts it on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Basically.
we become very insensitive to just interacting as in our particular community as blacks.
Yeah.
Just communicate.
It's definitely important that we communicate and be there and be that village to help continue to raise the village.
That's right.
Brother Barnett, I thank you for coming on the show, man. Honestly, I know we had an original show planned, but we had to alter a little bit because we had the wonderful Akura Injuri. She joined the show today along with brother Fred, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. So we had to alter the show, for that. But thank you. I definitely want you to come back on the show when it's time for his celebration of Neo Soul.
Okay.
Just like we did for Angie, definitely, I know you're going to be there. I honestly, man, we got to figure out some way. I might have to go with you. Might have to just do the show live from wherever we at. Because that's something that.
He was from Virginia. I'm sure it's going to be in Virginia.
Yeah.
And just also want to say real quick, this Saturday, we're going to be at Weeping Willow Amy Zion Church. Got to throw this out there, especially when we're talking about the young people and getting their minds together. This is the 30th year anniversary of the Million Man March. So we're going to be a lot of speakers this weekend at Weeping Willow. It starts at 12 noon. That's on Milton Road in Charlotte, 12 noon. I just invited Tone X. He's coming. And a slew of other speakers.
I want to say we used to play basketball there. That's right across from that's right down from where the KT used to be at.
Yep, I think so. Absolutely. Yes, we highly encouraging single mothers to bring their sons. Definitely encouraging single mothers to bring their sons. So make sure you come out this Saturday, 12 noon, Weeping Willow Amy Zion Church on Milton Road for the Million Man March 30th anniversary.
All right, y'all. You heard it here first. This Saturday, Weeping Willow AME Zion. All right, Million Man March. We're doing it this Saturday. Weeping Willow AME Zion. I'll be there. My brother John Barnett will be there. So we look forward to seeing you there. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share. And join me back here Friday for the Culture Check. Live with Ace. We out.
I'm out. Peace. Holla.